It is my hope that you are enjoying your weekend. Welcome to weekend. Today being Saturday, the second last day of April 2023. An entire day, including lawyers Dunstan of Pastor Ezekiel's legal team. We have these stories and many more. Our sign language interpreter this evening is Ruth Chepkowet. My name is Joseph Kez. We are also live on Facebook as well as on YouTube at KUTV Kenya. You can share with us your feedback on Twitter at Joseph Kenya. But before that, let's get a better introduction for this bulletin. In court. General Francis Ogola sworn in as the new chief of Kenyan Defense Forces. It is about self, not country. Ruto accuses opposition of shifting goalposts. And Uhuru Kenyatta to convene a Jubilee Party National Delegates Conference in May to quell leadership tension. Once again, our sign language interpreter this evening is Ruth Chepkowet. My name is Joseph Kez. Remember, we're also live on Facebook as well as on Kenya. And you can tweet us your feedback at KUTV_Kenya and at Kez Joseph Kenya. Now, Pastor Ezekiel Odero of New hired city lawyers Cliff ahead of his court hearing of the 2nd of May 2023. The two lawyers of today afternoon visited Pastor Ezekiel in Makupa police station in Mombasa, where he is detained. While addressing the press at the station, Omari stated that Ezekiel's church was started 1.5 years ago and only 15 people have died within its premises. Now, Omar has gone ahead to blame the relatives of the deceased for bringing them to church when they are critically ill. The two lawyers have expressed confidence in their client's innocence and have promised to fight the charges to the end. Now, moving on, President William Ruto, as the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, has presided over the swearing-in ceremony of the new Chief of the Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Francis Ogolla. Ogolla takes the post from Lieutenant General Robert Kibochi, whose time to serve the army is ending after serving in the military for 44 years. Other army officers who were appointed and promoted yesterday also took oath in the ceremony held at State House. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, and other government officials were in attendance. James Morike reports.
Over by President William Ruto this morning, Lieutenant General Francis Ogolla was sworn in as the new Chief of the Defense Forces. In 2018, Ogolla was appointed by retired President Uhuru Kenyatta as Commander of the Air Force, and later in 2021 appointed as the Deputy Chief of the Defense Forces. More than 2 years, he has been deputizing the outgoing Chief of Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Robert Kibochi, whom he has now succeeded.
I, General Francis Ogolla, Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, do swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Kenya and to the President as the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces. So help me God.
While speaking at the event, President Ruto has congratulated the outgoing Chief of Defence Forces, General Robert Kibochi, for showing exemplary quality in his service to the Kenyan forces.
Today, with pride, with your head high, you exit from the highest office in the military, and as you take up your other responsibilities in retirement, congratulations from me.
In the same breath, Ruto congratulated Ogolla for taking the new position and instructing him to always maintain the good image of the Kenya Defence Forces, which he emphasized that for many years was built through ethics and positive decisions.
Ogolla, congratulations on your appointment and ascension into the high office of CDF in the Republic of Kenya. It is my expectation that the professional standard of the Kenyan military will be observed under your leadership.
President Ruto has also appointed and promoted Lieutenant General John Maina Mwangi as Vice Chief of Defence Forces, Brigadier David Kipkemboi as Assistant Chief of the Defence Forces Personnel and Logistics, Major General Said Farah as Vice Chancellor of the National Defence University, Brigadier Abdikadir Mohamed Burje as Major General and the Director Military Intelligence, among others. Ogolla's appointment and swearing in as a new Chief of Defence Forces came through despite being named as being among members of the National Security Council who visited the Bomas National Tallying Center in August 2022 to influence presidential election results in favor of Raila Odinga. James Mureke Mwenda, KUTV.
And now to some matters, politics and developments. President William Ruto has today commissioned the construction of a 13-kilometer road in Malava constituency, Kakamega County. The project is expected to connect Malava and Ikoli areas via Kimangeti while boosting the economic activities of the residents by improving access to markets. The president took the opportunity to call out the opposition for disregarding the bipartisan talks and instead opting to go back to the streets. Ruto now says he will not allow destruction of properties during the riots. Let's get more from our very own Yvonne Kemuma.
President William Ruto has today commissioned the construction of a 13-kilometer road project in Kakamega County as he continues his tour to launch development projects across the country. The road, which will link Malava and Ikoli areas via Kimangeti area in Kakamega County, is expected to support the economic activities of the residents by improving access to markets and institutions that provide social amenities. Ruto further stated that the construction is expected to take 1 year.
Thank you, Your Excellency, kuzindua barabara ya Malava Ikoli Road.
In regards to the troubled Mumias Sugar Company, President says that the government will pay the debts owed by the company, said that his administration will not allow privatization of the sugar companies.
Kwanza tumeweka orodha yote ya madeni ya hizi kampuni zetu na tuko na deni bilioni 60. Na nimesema hiyo bilioni 60 serikali ya Kenya tutachukua na tutaiondoa katika vitabu ya kampuni zetu za sukari.
Ruto also took the opportunity to snub the opposition leader Raila Odinga for his decision to turn down the bipartisan talks and instead opting to go back to the streets, as Ruto says he will not allow for destruction of property during the riots.
Kwa sababu hawa watu walikuwa wanasema unga. Saa ile tumeteremusha unga ndio hii imefika 160. Saa hii wamesema hata ukiteremusha unga bado tutaendelea na maandamano. Kumaanisha haikukuwa ni unga walikuwa wanatafuta, ilikuwa ni vizingizio. Njama yao ni kuleta maandamano ndio uchumi ya Kenya iharibike, ndio wananchi wapate na umaskini, ndio wao wafaidike sijui kwa njia gani. And I will not allow them.
On matters health and development, Ruto promised Kakamega residents that he would equip the health facilities in the area to ensure locals are not forced to travel far in search of medical care.
Tumekubaliana vile vile ya kwamba hapa Malava, hapa Kakamega, ni lazima vile vile tupange vile tutaanzisha airport yenu tuipanue. Airport ya hapa Kakamega iko na ardhi kidogo. Nimeuliza county government yetu ya Kakamega wapange vile wataongea na wananchi, wapanue ardhi. Mimi nitakuja na pesa nijenge, niongeze hiyo runway, ndio zile ndege kubwa zinaweza kulanda hapa Kakamega.
Later on, the president headed off to Uasin Gishu County, where he inspected the construction of a 61-kilometer road connecting Nandi and Uasin Gishu counties. As he addressed the residents, Ruto announced that the government has plans to review the university funding system to solve financial crisis in universities. Yvonne Kemuma, KUTV.
Now, still on matters politics, former President and Jubilee Party leader Uhuru Kenyatta convened his party's National Delegates Conference as a group allied to him and another allied to President Ruto fight for the soul of the party. The NDC will take place on May 22nd at the Bomas of Kenya from 10 a.m. According to the notice seen by KUTV, the delegates will, among other things, review, formulate and approve party policies, some of which have enabled the current leadership stalemate. They will also receive status report from the National Executive Committee. The deadlock in Jubilee hit a crescendo this week, forcing former President Kenyatta to stamp his authority following a fight between Jeremiah Kioni and Kanini Kega factions at the party headquarters in Kileleshwa. Now, we switch on gears where security in Vickertown has received a major boost after area Member of Parliament Alice Ng'ang'a officially opened a police patrol base along General Cargo Road next to Poplar's Mount Kenya University. The community policing facility was built through a partnership between the national government, the county government of Kiambu and Mount Kenya University. Kadari Chari with more.
Thika Town MP Alice Ng'ang'a officially opened a police patrol base along General Cargo Road. Apart from that, there is also a newly constructed traffic police office at the Thika Police Station that is hoped to help reduce congestion of traffic officers in their offices as they enforce traffic laws and regulations and promote safe and responsible driving on the roads. In her remarks, MP Alice Ng'ang'a said that there has been unprecedented growth of the existing colleges within the constituency as well as the establishment of new ones. To boost student security, MKU had requested for establishment of a patrol base along its main campus to beef up security around it and in the neighborhood. The government approved the request to enhance security of both learners and locals.
Kunauliza makampuni zingine kubwa hapa Thika mjini. Tafadhalini, watu pesa yenu mnatoa Thika. Watu mnaoajiri wanatoka Thika. Hakuna kitu mzuri kama kupatiana. Na kupatiana sio kwa mtu binafsi, unapatiana kwa community ambapo industry yako iko. So muige mfano wa MKU, mkuje mpatiane.
Mount Kenya University Vice Chancellor Professor Deogratius Jaganyi, who spoke during the launch of the facility, pledged that MKU will continue to forge synergetic partnerships with security organs in safeguarding peace and security in the community.
I'm happy to note that this facility is the 4th PPP initiative within the neighborhood which allow MKQ to work closely and jointly with the national and county government to foster community welfare.
Professor Jaganyi noted that the project is the 4th public-private partnership initiative between the university and other government entities. Others include the MKU Thika Level 5 Hospital PPP project, the MKU Thika High School PPP project on the development of the sports complex, and the MKU Kenya National Library Services. Kadari Chari reporting for KUTV.
And now to some matters health. Several patients covered under the National Health Insurance Fund, that is NHIF, risk missing out on healthcare services as hospitals take issue with NHIF for failure to honor its contractual obligations. Private hospitals are complaining that NHIF is delaying in disbursing funds meant to settle their members' medical bills. Hema Hospital manager Harun Abuga has urged the government to release the funds to cater for the medical bills of its members, as public hospitals cannot meet the medical requirements of the whole population. Wilfred Odaga, who is a patient in Hema Hospital, says that he is unable to cater for his medical bill since NHIF is yet to release the funds.
Institutions like ours, these companies, these payers, they affect our operations in a great extent because we treat their patients, they pay us later. But we are facing a serious challenge when it comes to payment, and this has grounded most of our operations. People are contributing, but the way the fund is being run personally, I say there is a problem which needs to be addressed. So I'm appealing to the government. If sincerely speaking, the government is caring about the welfare of the citizens, healthcare is a number one priority. Because if you don't have a health population, then even our GDP will be affected. People will be productive. So
hiyo pesa yote NHIF inaweka itaki kutulipia tutoka hospitali. Sasa Ruto usitusaidie. Hata ile ya Linda mama nimesikia naye inapotea. Sasa tutafanya namna gani? NHIF tunalipa kila mwezi. Tutafanya aje sasa sisi watu wasiojiweza tutafanya namna gani?
Now, look at this. 90-year-old Samuel Gachoki from Ngerwe village in Manyata constituency, Embu County, has appealed to the government to help probe the mysterious disappearance of his entire life savings at the local Nawiri Sacco Limited. Gachoki's account at Nawiri Sacco was wiped clean of his 214,000 shilling savings in a series of transactions carried out via mobile banking platform M-Pesa. Njama Gikomo has more.
Samuel Gashoki Vega An elderly man from Ngerwe village, Manyata constituency, Embu County, is blaming Nawiri Circle Limited for the loss of his entire life savings worth 214,000 Kenyan shillings. He is calling for the perpetrators to be apprehended. Karioki Ireri, the son to Gashoki, blames the Sacco for the knowingly exposing his father to fraudsters after asking him to register for mobile banking services, knowing very well he was illiterate.
Inaitwa Nawiri Sacco. Mzee akaenda huko, akaambiwa pesa yake iko Embu. Mzee akaenda mpaka Embu. Akirudi akaambiwa pesa yako iko Kathangalile. Mzee akaenda Kathangalile tena. Akaambiwa huko mzee kunaonekana hakuna pesa yako, wewe umetoa pesa. Maneno yote inatoka kwa banki kwa sababu mzee hajui kusoma, lakini anaweka kwa mobile bank. Na sasa akiweka kwa mobile bank ndio shida yetu iko hapa. Huyu hajui kusoma na kwa nini anapelekwa kwa mobile bank? Atoe pesa yake na simu.
This happened after Gashoke visited the Saccos Kathangariri branch on November the 16th, 2020, in company of his wife Virginia Mudhoni, and withdrew 20,000 shillings for medication and daily upkeep using fingerprint authentication. Account statement obtained by the family from the Sacco on December 29th, 2022 detailed about 13 withdrawals ranging between 10,000 and 20,000 on diverse dates, leaving his account with a balance of only 588 shillings.
Ndio hapo wale wakora kutoka huko walikuja hapa kuchukua simu yake, sababu waende wakachukue pesa kwa sababu huyu mzee ajui pini yake, na hiyo pini yake tunaona imewacha huko kwa banki. Sababu hao wakora wamekuja hapa, tunaona wametumwa ni banki. Ndio wakuje wachukue simu yake na wachukue kitambulisho yake, alafu waende. Kwa njia hapo ndio pesa ya mzee imeanza kutolewa banki.
The family says that individuals came to Gashoke's home several days later, claiming they had been sent by the Sacco to verify his details, where he innocently handed them his phone and ID number as requested. However, unbeknown to him, they switched his SIM card and withdrew his money.
Pesa yangu ikaenda yote, ikachukua yote, ikaipa yote pesa. Na leo nikiruhusiwa hiyo pesa, nimesema ni asante sana, nimesikia mzuri sana. Mimi unaikuwa mshihini hiyo pesa ikienda, nimechoka chini kabisa, hapana kuwa mtu iko na nguvu tena. Hiyo pesa yangu imetoroka, inaipwa, nimetaka irudishwe yote.
The family maintains that the theft was a well-choreographed scheme by some of the Sacco staff in collusion with fraudsters to rob unsuspecting members of their savings, while detectives from Manyata police station handling the matter have asked the family to go back for a review of the case at a later date. Jama Gikomo, KUTV.
Well, hopefully he will get his finances back. We're taking a short break here on Weekend Live. We still have plenty more ahead, including some international news. Stay with us. Weekend Live resumes shortly.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani. Kama ilivyo kipindi hiki kinahusu nyimbo za taarab, chakacha, midwara, midundiko, bila kusahau mapishi. Ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa pwani ya Afrika Mashariki.
Jamani, swaibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Hapa KUTV, nahodha mwendesha chombo cha baharini, yani ua linalunukia na kuvutia waridi tamu.
We are all seeing the impacts of climate change. In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we are losing.
The level we need to go is a level where the normal mwananchi and also the government stakeholders can uptake these solutions.
Those small acts multiplied by millions of us will help make a difference in the world at the end of the day.
It's just a slight behavior change that we need, and you'll find that it serves us a bit more than you put in. And that's the goal. We want to live a better world than we found, because at the rate we are going, it's dire.
We will secure the planet for future generations.
Welcome back to Weekend Live. Now, the Kenyan government has evacuated citizens from troubled Sudan, but with shaky ceasefire set to expire at midnight on Sunday. The parents of Kenyan students who are stuck are appealing to Nairobi to speed up the departure process. VOA's Ahmed Hussein reports from Wajir County, where more of the students are from.
Distressed parents of Kenyan university students stuck in Sudan converge in a house in Kenya's Wajir County while they wait for news of their stranded children in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. With only a fragile ceasefire in place between Sudan's warring factions, many parents back in Kenya are extremely apprehensive about the students' safety, including Osman Mohammed.
My son was among those who were still stranded in the university, and he confirmed to me that there are several of them who are waiting for communication from the embassy, and they are yet to receive that information.
The first group of Kenyan evacuees arrived home aboard a Kenyan Air Force plane from South Sudan a little more than a week after the fighting began. The group of 39, including 19 Kenyan students, were evacuated following the arrest in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, which has resulted in hundreds of deaths.
We started our journey before 2 days from Khartoum, and we came by bus from Khartoum to Kosti, near the border, then from Kosti to Joda. In Joda, we're being received by the South Sudanese government.
Kenya's Cabinet Secretary for Defense Aden Duale told journalists while receiving the evacuees at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi that Kenya was committed to ensuring the safe return of all citizens stranded in Sudan.
We'll make sure that aircrafts and all logistics are available to evacuate all Kenyans. There are over 3,000 Kenyans holed up in Sudan, and so far we have mapped out 900 Kenyans in various parts of Khartoum and Sudan as a whole.
Despite the Kenyan government's efforts, devastated parents of students who are still in Sudan have expressed the fear that their students will get trapped in the fighting and appeal to government to evacuate them quickly.
We are strongly appealing to the government to speed up the evacuation process so that at least before the extended time elapses, that at least all the students in Khartoum have been ferried to safety places.
Kenya's Foreign Affairs Ministry had earlier this week told all stranded Kenyans to register with its embassy in Khartoum in a bid to expedite a quick evacuation process. There have been no further flights of Kenyans out of Sudan.
The fact that we can't account for 2,000 plus of our students is a concern, because we're talking about 3,000, only 900 have been accounted for. That leaves you with a large number. B, the fact that of the 900 you have mapped, you are only able to evacuate 35. Shows you how small efforts we are placing in. I think the Kenyan government can do better.
Fighting between Sudan's armed forces and the rival paramilitary rapid support forces has triggered a rush of evacuations of thousands of foreign nationals. With only a fragile ceasefire in place, many Kenyan parents like Osman Mohammed fear for their loved ones, but hold out hope of a safe return home. I'm listening for VOA News, Wajir, Kenya.
Now, we remain in Sudan, where the ceasefire was on Thursday extended for another 72 hours. However, questions remain about the country's likelihood of achieving lasting peace in near future. For more, VOA's Anthony Labruto spoke to Sudanese officials, including Sudanese ambassador to the United States, Mohammed Abdullah Idris.
With the extension of the shaky ceasefire and limited humanitarian assistance given during a lull in the fighting, the evacuation of many foreign nationals left Sudanese officials and civilians hoping the temporary agreement could be extended into meaningful long-term talks for peace. Mohammed Abdullah, Sudan's ambassador to the United States, who spoke with VOA, says peace will prevail if all parties respect the terms of the truce.
So we hope that the other party will respect the truce and will respect the ceasefire, especially those elements of RSF who those are deployed in residential areas and on roads, streets, intersections. So if, as far as the government is concerned, I'd like to assure you that we are committed to respect the ceasefire.
Ambassador Abdullah expressed confidence in the mediation efforts initiated by the African Union and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development. The heads of Sudan, Djibouti, and Kenya are spearheading the negotiations for lasting peace.
No, the hope is always there for peace, and as we are speaking now, and in the future, the African Union or the IGAD delegation of 3 presidents, which was intending and planning to visit Sudan, this opportunity is there, but due to technical, problems at the airport is closed now. And so it's not possible for them to fly to Khartoum.
The United Nations and many Western countries have called for an end. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken says Washington is in direct talks with the 2 warring factions, namely Sudanese Army leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the head of the Rapid Support Forces, General Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, or Hemedi.
We've also continued to engage directly with General Burhan and General Hemedi to press them to extend and expand the Eid ceasefire to a sustainable cessation of hostilities that prevents further violence and upholds humanitarian obligations. The Sudanese people are not giving up on their aspirations for a secure, free, and democratic future. Neither will we.
Former Sudanese ambassador to the U.S., Noreldin Sati, who also spoke with VOA, also hopes the temporary truce will lead to permanent peace and pave the way to a democratically elected government. He, however, blames the Sudanese armed forces for failing to address the expansion of the Rapid Support Forces.
It was their own making. They are the ones that created the RSF until 10 days, 11 days ago. They were their partners. And they allowed them to come to Khartoum. They allowed them to amass fortunes. They allowed them to arm themselves. Even they become more powerful than the army. They allowed them to occupy army, locations around Khartoum and around. They have 36, points in Khartoum and around Khartoum.
Ambassador Abdullah agrees that the conflict could have been avoided, but says going forward, the government is committed to lasting peace.
The government, the chairman of the Supremacy Council, have reiterated it once and more and many times that the government is committed to resume the political process if this crisis is solved, and the political process should also lead to a civilian-led government that could lead a transitional period.
Anthony Labruto, VOA News, Washington.
Right, and now matters sports. Now, the national under-20 rugby 15 side Chipo will lock horns with the defending champions, that is Zimbabwe, in the Bathurst Cup 2023 final set for tomorrow at the Nyayo National Stadium from 4 p.m. Kenya booked their ticket to the finals after thrashing Namibia 24-13 in the semis, while Zimbabwe humiliated Tunisia 60-6 to reach the finals. The winner of the finals is set to get the opportunity to compete at the World Junior Championships set for Nairobi in July this year. The Chipo captain Laban Kipsang has urged fans to turn up in large numbers and support Team Kenya against Zimbabwe. Right, that brings us to the end of our bulletin tonight. Jama Gikoma tells me that Chelsea is in number 11. At least we are not going to be relegated. Anyway, thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast tonight. Our sign language interpreter has been Ruth Chepkowich. My name is Joseph Kess. Until we meet again next time, enjoy the rest of your weekend.